Okay, everybody, let's talk about this completely rigged election. Now, I'm predicting right here that since nobody's standing up, everybody's going to pretty much accept this. And we've already had right now at the current moment 31 seats stolen from us in the House because we're looking at a red wave that's at least plus 35 seats. And we were looking at plus 35 seats, plus 50 seats. Some people are saying 100 seats, 100 years. Obviously, that was just motivational speech, but now we're sitting here looking at plus 4 instead of plus 35. So we've had 31 seats stolen from us. And we've done nothing. Nobody's hit the streets. There's no protests. There's no people exercising their right to assemble. Now, what does the deep state do? And I put this post up over here on Truth Social about that. Now, let's say you're in a bank and you steal a little bit of money out of the vault because it's like wide open. And there's nobody in the bank. There's nobody watching you. And you look up and the cameras aren't even on. The little red light's not even on. So you say, all right, I'm going to take a little bit because I don't want to get busted hardcore, right? If this is some kind of trick, I don't want to take, and this is just assuming that you're a thief in the first place, right? Which most of the people that listen to my show aren't. But you take a little bit of money because you don't want to get charged major charges. So then you're home and it's been a couple days and you don't even get arrested. You're freaking out, man, because maybe you took like 10 grand and you're like freaking out because it's, you'd like to be able to spend that 10 grand. So you go back to the bank the next day and the vault is wide freaking open again and there's nobody in the bank. And there's like stacks of cash just sitting there. Now, are you going to, obviously you're going to take some more. Okay? Maybe you even have a duffel bag with you because you were planning ahead. Maybe you had a van with you because you're going to rob that MF blind. So this is the analogy that I'm talking about, that nobody's out there protesting, exercising their right to assemble right now. Why? And why am I saying this? Oh, it's because I'm a Fed. I'm telling people hit the streets because I'm a Fed, right? That's what you're automatically going to think if you've never heard me before. And that's what you've been conditioned to think. So you've now given up. It's kind of like self-censorship. All these people on YouTube that do the self-censorship because they want to get around, quote unquote, get around the algorithms. The algorithms are built so that you censor yourself. But now we're in this massively rigged election. Nobody's done anything about it. Everybody's telling you it's okay. We got the House. We got the Senate. Now, they stole 31, the entire red wave just about from you already, and you've done nothing. Do you think that why would they not just try to steal more? Why would they not continue? Do you really think Pelosi wants to lose control of the House? Is she seeing the steal pop off this awesomely? And obviously, who do you think is running point on the steal? It's definitely not Joe Biden. It's power-tripping, corrupt, scumbag Nancy Pelosi, who's right now on her way to Egypt, I guess, we're going to pay them a whole ton of reparations for climate change, folks, in Egypt. That's coming up next. Why is she going to Egypt? Does she anticipate still being Speaker of the House? Spoiler alert. Now, I could provide evidence of stealing. I could provide a clip. I could sit here, with my crappy computer. I'm sorry, as for standards go, like media quality, I love my computer and the fact that somebody donated this computer, but it's only a $300 laptop, and you can't do major media with it and crunch it all together and edit it and everything like that. And it's unfortunate because I had that kind of stuff. I had top of the line equipment about 20 years ago. That was back Ron Paul Revolution 2008. Ron Paul Revolution 2008. And I had massive amounts of computer equipment. I could do media files like crazy. And we had pyrobang.com going on. And we were trying to have our own media. We're trying to have our own media, which is what everybody's now figured out, that they have to have their own media now. Well, we were figuring that out back in 2008. Ron Paul Revolution, bring us back our Constitution. There's a picture out there on the internet with Ron Paul Revolution in the D.C. March. We're in Washington, D.C., and there's 1 million of us, over 1 million of us in D.C., marching, protesting. And I was up front. I'm actually literally the bald guy up front on the right behind the Ron Paul Revolution sign. If you look up Ron Paul March 2008, and then you'll see the front of the march there with the big sign. It's pretty easy to find. So it's pretty cool that I'm at least there in history, and you can, if you get an HD picture, you can't blow it up and you say, yeah, there he is. But Ron Paul woke everybody up, and we can draft someone again, because that's what they did, and I came along about 6 months later. But the people that got Ron Paul in pretty much drafted him. They just went around, they put up signs, they talked to people, they did the campaigning. We the people did the campaigning for Ron Paul, and we got pretty insulted when the campaign started trying to take some control of the actual campaign, because it was such a grassroots campaign that we literally did not like the establishment of Ron Paul's campaign. There was a little bit of establishment in there, and we didn't want to have anything to do with it. Now, unfortunately, Ron Paul didn't have the fight back. He was too much of a gentleman. He didn't really want to call people out. But man, that guy is so smart. You need to just go and go over and subscribe to his Rumble channel over there. He's got close to 300,000 subscribers over on Rumble now, Ron Paul. So he's a great educator. I pick up his show just about, as much as I can. At least every other day anyway. I'm back there checking out and seeing what the latest episodes are. But we need to draft somebody now. We need to take it upon ourselves to make our own decisions. Okay? Trump, he was relatively sold to us over the last, 3 or 4 or 5 decades. All of the media was selling us, let's have, maybe Trump should run, and he's a good guy, and I'm not saying he's totally bad, but Trump is in the pocket of big pharma. That's a fact that cannot be denied about Trump. And here's another thing about Trump. Trump needs to disavow the vaccines 100%, but that's not the other thing. If Trump cannot admit that he was wrong, admit that he was at fault, if he has too big of an ego to change when we get pissed off if he does something wrong. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? Think for yourself. Think outside the box. Don't be conditioned to reject my opinion just because it disagrees with your opinion. Because now we're having this problem on both sides, on the right and the left. If you've been into Q, and I was into Q since 2017, I kept up with all the posts. I was watching all the news sources. I was also warning about the pitfalls of trusting a government. Because trust the plan, and as much as you love Donald Trump, it doesn't matter. The fact is he's in our government. And the founders said, do not trust government. Always. That's the reason for our Second Amendment. And the Second Amendment, folks, is useless without a militia. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. Forget about the other side of that thing, okay? One guy with a gun does you no good. That's great. You got the right to bear arms in your home with you, you know? And if the government decides that you don't get that right anymore, guess what? You're going to lose all your guns and probably your life too, because you got some guns and you can shoot back and they can say, well, he was shooting at us. So the Second Amendment is gone, folks. There is no well-regulated militia. So the militia is supposed to be called upon to do certain things when politicians are doing things that they're not supposed to do. For example, down in Brazil right now, Brazil is lit. They've got their constitution. It's pretty clear in their constitution that the military steps in if there's civil unrest over election results. Which, wow, oh my God, that makes like an incredible amount of sense. I think personally, the militia should do that here in this country. Oh my God, that guy is totally friggin' radical. Wow, we need to get him off the streets. We need to get him into a concrete box right away. Listen to what he's talking about, that radical stuff about a militia stepping up and securing your local elections. Imagine that. I must be a Fed, right? I must be a Fed. That's the only reason that I would be, suggesting that, right? Because the only people that could actually suggest stuff like that must be a Fed. Otherwise, they would come and get me, right? They've already come and got me. They had a taste of me. They don't want no more of me, right? Not yet. But maybe now that Colorado's now a deep blue state, man, wow. The level of election fraud here in Colorado is only eclipsed by California. I'm hoping Lee Zeldin maybe hangs on. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, he's saying he's not going to concede. Tudor Dixon, she's saying she's not going to succeed. Not going to concede. And then you have also, Carrie Lake obviously is saying she's going to win and serve 8 terms. And kudos to her. But we got serious problems. And Donald Trump, we got to get over our Donald Trump addiction in this country. We need to actually think about drafting somebody for president. And this is who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Mike Lindell. And I know Mike Lindell supports Trump. He would never go against Trump, this and that and the other thing. But who decides who's the president? Why do we let they decide all the time? And then we decide that they are so criminal, so corrupt that only Donald Trump could possibly beat them. And we know that Donald Trump is in the big it's lesser of two evils. You have to admit, you're voting for the lesser of two evils if you're voting for Trump. Because Trump is in the pocket of Big Pharma. Trump will not come out against the jabs. Trump is violating informed consent. Trump got the FDA out of the way so that the pharmaceutical companies could railroad this through. And the news companies, they don't even have to say anything about side effects. The quote-unquote news companies. Let's call them propaganda networks from now on. Let's speak correct English about this stuff. So, all right, so that's where I'm at right now today, and I haven't spoken out, and wow, man, this format, I'm kind of actually liking this, and I didn't even have any notes. I just needed to say something. And I think I want to leave you with this, and that is that if you don't exercise your rights, you won't have any. They're going to be gone. And if you give up your rights, then you won't be able to exercise them later. It's like a muscle that atrophies. You have to exercise your right to protest right now over rigged elections. That would be, in a constitutional republic, the job of the militia to then step in and quell the violence, if there is any violence, right? And I'm not saying that there should be, and I'm not promoting violence, and I'm not telling you to go out and cause any. But if there's, civil unrest, then the militia could decide that they can come in and quell the civil unrest, even, which is not all the way to violence. It could just be a whole bunch of people not restful about a stolen election. Now, I've been protesting the stolen election since January 20th of 2021. And how I protested is I moved out into the middle of friggin' nowhere. And I don't pay any bills. So I'm not paying the oil companies, not paying any of these people. The whole conversation, by the way, solar versus oil, it's all bullshit. Why don't we have free energy, folks? Why is there no free energy? Remember Tesla, Wardenclyffe. We were going to have free energy. You've got Stanley Meyer, the water car. You've got people out there since Stanley Meyer. Multiple times I've seen people duplicate his information. And then the government swoops in and they figure out a way to just handle that situation because they don't want you to have free energy. Because why? Because then you would be free. Because you don't have to pay for your energy to move around. Transportation. That's where they control everything. Your entire new world order has been created for you. You live where you live. You do what you do because of the new world order, whether you believe you made your choices or not. Because there would be so many more awesome choices available without the new world order controlling everything. Through the money, through the education system, through the politics, through the legal system. The phony legal system, which is why we've got to get rid of this bar association, because it's a violation of your speech, of your right to free speech. Why can't you say, I want Vince Edwards to defend me in a court? Because they'll arrest me. They'll say that's practicing law without a license. But here it is, right? And I've got one of these titles written up here on the whiteboard because I want to start writing titles and then do like an in-depth video of how to solve this problem. And if we want to solve something, we just do it. We do it without attorneys or politicians. Because the politicians and the attorneys are there to, they're like a buffer zone between the serfs and the royalty. Okay, we live in a feudal system. And how to defeat the Bar Association is one of those titles. The Bar Association is a communist organization. So regardless of whether you're Republican or Democrat, now we're going to have all these people going in there and doing all this stuff about voting. But the base rules of the Bar Association are communist. So people get into this, and even people ignorant and they don't even understand it, and they think that they're conservative and constitutionalists, and they go to law school and they get into this. They think that they're studying constitutional law. And you have to go to school to be able to do that. But the founders wrote the Constitution, and it was supposed to be very readily interpreted by the layman on the street. This was the common language of that day. If some of it's kind of confusing, it's just because it's like 240 years old. So you just go get a Black's Law dictionary and like edition 5.0 is the easiest for the newbies. All right. And then you start looking up all those words from the Constitution in that Black's Law Dictionary, and then you'll see, oh yeah. Oh, that makes perfect sense. That's totally logical. Everything in the Constitution, when you read it, is just based on logic. And in the Declaration of Independence, these are self-evident truths. It's absolutely self-evident to me that this election was completely stolen from us. And I'm telling you right now, as I've told you so many times before, so many things, and I just get no traction. Why do I get no traction? I get so sick of being wrong. I get so sick of being right, is what I'm saying. And I just wish I was wrong. They're going to steal the rest of this red wave. We're going to lose the Senate. And that's probably going to happen in the runoff. They're going to let the runoff go. They're leaving the hanging Chad right there. Okay, the Walker race in Georgia. Okay, and then he's going to lose in the runoff because they're going to take the House and leave you with the hope that you're going to have the Senate. And then you're going to, then that hope is going to be gone. So they're letting you all down easy. And they just don't, please just don't, nobody protest and get loud and you know, not crazy, but loud, because you have a right to speak. But they're going to steal the rest of this if you don't start protesting and share this message and share my voice to more people that urgently, because it's like 2 years ago I'm sitting there saying this. 15 years ago I'm sitting there saying this. I'm Alex Jones without the platform, because I just didn't, it wasn't, I've tried to do media empires before, but I just get boom, I've lost everything in life twice. Because I am balls to the wall, man. I don't care. I will throw myself into the gears. And I'll do that even more hardcore if you have my back. So that's why I need you to follow. And I will make more of these. If I see that people are sharing these ideas, because I'm not promoting any violence. I'm saying you need to exercise your rights, and people are giving up their rights. And it's very alarming to me that we have all in this country on the conservative side, because we know that they're commies, and we know the legal system is completely communist, and we know that they're going to hold you in custody. And the J6ers, God bless the J6ers, God damn, what's happening to them? It's not even a crime, folks. It's not even a crime to go into a public building during business hours through an open door. Unless some official has said leave and you say, no, I'm not leaving. Now you're trespassing. So all of these people on J6 that went in, they heard the gunshot, Ashley Babbitt got shot. I guess I'm not sure what went on in the side. I'm assuming somebody said that somebody got shot. Some girl got shot. And then everybody was like, whoa, this is over the top. I'm out of here. And they all left voluntarily. So that's the truth about January 6th. That's why they won't put people like me before the January 6th committee. And I feel, hey, if you're paying expenses, come on, have me before your friggin' committee. I've got footage of them opening the back doors, or the east side doors, or whatever side doors they are, one of the sides. It quite obviously was open from the inside. And then there's other footage out there that you can find. And then there's a guy inside. He's trying the door. He looks up. He's pointing at a camera. Then he radios, and then boom! All of a sudden he goes around, tries the door, and it opens. January 6th was the most peaceful protest during that whole cycle. A couple of windows got broken. Nothing caught fire. We didn't do any of the violence. That was all Antifa or BLM or federal. I wonder, man, I would love to see some footage of one of these feds And we don't know how many of them are feds, right? Because the feds will never tell us which ones are feds. We don't know which Antifa and BLM are actually feds. All right. I think that's about it out of me for now. Tune in next time if you share this, and I might speak to you more often if I can build a bigger platform and I start hearing more people want to hear what I have to say. I'm not going to keep waving at the New World Order saying, kill me, kill me. Okay? I'm not going to keep coming on here dropping these truth bombs and saying and letting them know that I'm one of these people that they need to get rid of. Unless you're willing to get behind me and share this to other people. Say, this guy's got a unique view on the world. 30 plus years of geopolitical experience that I just want to deliver to you and everybody else. It has nothing to do with ego. I just want to report the truth. And when you see this shit happen in front of your eyes, because, and if we see some protesting going on, maybe I'm wrong about that. No, but I'm actually all right about this prediction. If there's no protesting, if we just take this lying down, they're going to steal the rest of this crap over the next couple of days. That's my prediction. All right. God bless you, patriots. Please subscribe, follow on all platforms. Go to other platforms and please help me get this message out to people about taking your own power back, doing it all ourselves, doing stuff without politicians and attorneys. It's up to us. The plan is us. Trust the rigged voting plan. Don't trust that. Trust the plan, which is us. And that's you and me working together. You've got to share this. I'm sorry I keep saying that. Please share this out. Please do something. I mean, if you're not going to protest, you need to start actively getting with thought leaders that you agree with and promoting their platforms. Because otherwise, it's just a new world order that's going to promote all of those thought leaders. We, you and me, the little guy, have to take it upon ourselves, get out of our own laziness, and stop listening to infotainment, right? Infotainment is, okay, I've listened to this, I'm listening to this, I already know all that shit. I haven't shared it to anybody. Why are you sitting there listening to this and listening to this, but you haven't shared it to anybody? Why aren't you growing some food or something? Right? Do you see my point? All right. God bless the Patriots. I'll see you next time. Peace.